What is up, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix, and man, if you are a Final Fantasy fanatic, specifically Final Fantasy IX, you are going to hate this bit of news. And this is coming from the creator of Final Fantasy XIV, who seems to be in charge of this project. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. Look, so this is actually coming from the Gamer. And it says Final Fantasy IX Remake might not be possible as a single title, says Yoshi P. Might not be possible as a single title. So what he's trying to say is that the game could possibly end up being, multiple titles. So basically like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Why? Why does it have to be this way? This is unnecessary. This is unnecessary. I mean, look, I'm honestly looking forward to the remake, but why do they have to milk everything? Why do they have to just milk the crap out of everything? There is a way to make the game to make it just one game instead of like multiple parts, but they don't want to do it, right? They don't want to do it. That's the problem. That's really what it comes down to, is that they don't want to make the game just make one game. They want to milk the game in 3 parts, just like Final Fantasy VII. But hey, I'm just a gamer. Let's go ahead and see what Yoshi P, the creator of Final Fantasy XIV, has to say. Right? So it says, in a recent interview with Video Game, thanks to Games Radar, Yoshida was asked which Final Fantasy game he thinks would be the next to receive the remake treatment, after claiming that he personally liked to see a remake of Final Fantasy III, a truly inspired answer. He addresses the popular calls for Final Fantasy IX Remake and says that it may not be as simple as people think. Okay. Says, of course, I do know there are requests for Final Fantasy IX to be made, but when you think about Final Fantasy IX, it's a game with huge volumes, says Yoshi P. Do you guys remember years ago, before Final Fantasy VII Remake was made? This is the exact same thing people are saying. This is the exact same thing people were saying before the first remake of Final Fantasy VII was made. People were saying, oh, well, the game is huge, so it's gonna be more than one part. The game is huge, it's really big, right? What else did he say? Over here, he says, Final Fantasy IX is a pretty big game. There's no denying it, especially the PS1 standard. However, Yoshi P does make a valid point in that a lot of the barren overworld would probably be remade into something more complex. Similar to what Square Enix did to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that alone would undeniably make the game even bigger than the original. Look. The main problem, the reason why Final Fantasy VII, they decided to expand it, right? Because they really wanted to make it like an open world. They wanted to make the whole thing just an open world game, right? Just this open world game where you could just explore the entire world of Final Fantasy VII, right? They did not want to make it where you can just kind of like in the original PlayStation 1 game, where you could just cross over to another area, like a little chibi character moving along a map, right? They didn't want to do that. They wanted you to experience like the open world thing. But what if people don't want that? What if people don't want more open world shit? What if people would just want the classics? It doesn't have to be that, it doesn't have to be that you have to like walk everywhere on the map. It could be that you just kind of like teleport to an area on the map. That's really what it is. Because if you think about it, if they had made Final Fantasy VII Remake in such a way instead of you having to walk miles and miles and miles to the world of Final Fantasy VII on the world map, instead of doing that, right? They could have made it where, like, they could have done the whole chibi character thing where you walk on the map, right? You're walking on the world map, and you can get to places rather quickly. I don't want that for Final Fantasy IX. I don't want that for Final Fantasy IX. I'm pretty sure you guys don't want that for Final Fantasy IX. And this is just an excuse to milk the game, right? To milk it for more money. For you to buy part 1, part 2, part 3 of the game. But we all know that it's just one game. It's one game. And the reason why the PlayStation 1 had 3 discs is because the PlayStation 1 did not have the computing power to handle all of that. Back then, this is in megabytes, not gigabytes. Now, we have systems, computers, consoles that can handle games over 100 gigabytes. Seriously. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy, that's 100 gigabytes. But, man. Alright, look. I'm telling you right now, if Square Enix decides to make Final Fantasy IX in episodes, like part 1, part 2, part 3, like Final Fantasy VII, I'm skipping it. Straight up. I'm skipping it, and I guess I'll just wait until all the games come out, then I'll play it. But, we're doing this, we're playing Final Fantasy VII, in 3 parts because, a lot of people didn't know it was going to be episodic, right? People just kind of thought that, it was just going to be, one game, but then, they kind of surprised us. If it's going to be a 3-part game, I'm going to pass it. And I'm just going to play the original. Seriously. They're milking everything. They can't just freaking make one game. Everything has to be AAA this and AAA that. $400 million budget on one game. This is how they go bankrupt. I mean, why can't they get it through their thick skulls, their thick heads, that not everybody wants that, and that some games is better if we don't need realistic graphics. You can remake the game in, let's say, PlayStation 3 style graphics, and that will be enough for people. That will be more than enough for people. Seriously. But, they just... I don't like this. I'm pretty sure you guys don't either. This is going to be a hard pass for me. And apparently, they're also... it hasn't been announced yet, but they're also going to be remaking Final Fantasy VIII. I'm pretty sure that's on the list too. Because if Final Fantasy IX is on the list, next to that's going to be Final Fantasy VIII. This is ridiculous. This is just absolutely ridiculous, man. And I understand exactly why people go to retro games. Because these companies, these gaming companies, they just want to make $100 million games. And then they are surprised when it fails, when it flops. And they want to break everything into all these little parts. It doesn't have to be like that. Everybody knows Final Fantasy IX as just one game. Why do you have to stretch it out? You don't have to stretch it out. So, if they do this, I'm skipping it. And I don't know, I'll look for something else to play. I'll deliver the news, I'll talk about it, but I don't know, man. I'm getting sick of this. I'm honestly getting sick of this. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications, guys. It's your boy, Andy Matrix. Godspeed.